Coming up on the next episode of Tzarina Katarin's huge tracts of land. Hello my friends, and welcome back to Warhammer 3, where we are about 70 or so turns into a Kislev campaign and beginning the process of reunification under the Ice Court. Using an absolute deluge of mods, I won't go into specifics here, and will instead try and leave a list in the description below, but as you probably saw from the intro, the Motherland Kislev reskin and better gunpowder smoke and effects are some of the highlights. To get things kicked off, interesting battle on the agenda, as Haggis Slaughter and the Bone Rattlers tribe have confederated most other Greenskins, including Warzag, and are teaming up with the Vampire Cats to take down Tzar Boris, who is not running a min-max Doomstack, which would almost certainly include some Patriarchs, but he's definitely getting some value out of that Bear Bait tech for Frenzy on his Sons of Ursun, and his Tzar Guard also have Frenzy and Berserk, so they punch well above their weight class. They were already elite infantry, but with the mod setup we have here, they're a step or two above even where Tzar Guard are in vanilla. We're going to try and prevent these two armies from linking up. If the Vampire Counts and Greenskins don't get on top of each other, I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to cause a lot of damage to our Bears and Tzar Guard. So driving a wedge between them is the game plan. Bears certainly have the ability to put that plan into action. So Tzar Boris and his Bear Avalanche are joined by some interesting characters today, including one Vladimir Stormbringer, who we'll show off in a second. A character from Dark Omen and the Grudgebringers, so nice little throwback. A lot of interesting characters in the Kislev roster, especially when we're using some of these legendary character mods. But looking at our front line, Tzar Guard have actually been renamed to Kreml Guard, which I think is a callback to 4th edition Kislev, something like that. It's also a callback to Call of Warhammer, and you can see that these Bardiche Axemen have pretty insane stats. When they've got their Berserk going and their Frenzy, they're well over 55, 60 attack and defense, both. High weapon strength, 24 bonus for large. They're going to be able to deal with pretty much any armored infantry or cavalry monsters infantry that they engage on the front line. You can see that the War Bear Riders have been renamed to Sons of Ursun, and of course are now not all just polar bears. I realize that a lot of them do enjoy their Coke cans, but white bears probably should be a bit more of a rarity, so as I see some black, some grizzly, some brown, all that good stuff. And of course, Tzar Boris' famous bear, Erskine, is the only polar bear currently on the field. This is Vladimir Stormbringer, joined by another lovely lady from the School of Ice Magic, and together they will be dropping blizzards on some undead and greenskin heads. And he actually has Missile Mirror as well, which is kind of an interesting little addition. So what we're going to try to do here, I think, is keep the infantry separate and just focus our cavalry on the reinforcing army. I don't think the vampire counts are going to want to attack us on the low ground because we are technically attacking them. Usually the AI will want to be defensive. So what I'm going to try to do here is send all my cav up the hill and block off the reinforcement point to prevent them from linking up with Vlad von Karstein and the rest of the Undead. I think those two armies are going to link up. That's not really a problem. The one in the back is just like zombies and skeletons, maybe a few fell bats or something, so nothing too scary there. But the Greenskin army is a bit more problematic, so what I think I'll do here is keep my infantry in a good spot so that if they do get attacked by Hexwraiths or Black Knights, we're fighting in the woods. And I'm going to try to utilize Swiftwing here, which is not a strat I've used very often with Kislev in multiplayer or campaign, but should be pretty good with a big blob of Bear Cavalry. Give them a big speed boost, and more importantly, plus 40 charge. Bear Cav doesn't have amazing charge bonus, so if we can effectively double that, that's a pretty big deal. And one thing I do need to be careful of is blobbing up too much, because as we know, monstrous units don't really like moving through each other. In Warhammer 3, they run into all kinds of pathfinding issues and then lose all their momentum. So we're not going to overlap these units, but we do want to get them as close together as possible because the AoE on Swiftwing is not large. So only a couple seconds here before the Greenskin army shows up. Yeah, about 14 seconds or so. And then we will activate Swiftwing and see if we can get things popping. So that'll be, I guess it's plus 40% charge bonus, not plus 40, so we're not actually doubling it. It's a 40% increase. Then you're also getting 25% speed increase, which also factors into the momentum and impact damage and all that. So don't know exactly how all that works, but the outcome should be lots of dead Greenskins on the other side, provided we do this reasonably decently. It looks like, oh, they had a Tormentor sword. That would have actually been super sick from the AI if Foot of Gork was good against Monstrous Cavalry. That would have been disgusting. Tormentor sword into Foot of Gork. That's some high-level strats from the AI. That was actually, damn. That was almost disgusting. All right. So nasty little blizzard on the back line. Of course, the Monstrous Cavalry should be able to just overpower the trolls and infantry in the fronts. Got good, clean charges off across the line for the most part, except for, of course, where that Tormentor sword and Big Boss was. Not another Foot of Gork? What are they dropping on me? Damn. That's 2 Foot of Gorks in 25 seconds. That's crazy. If I had Griffin Legion here, disaster. Like, I would have already lost 2 or 3 full units. So, very glad that Bear Cav are not susceptible to those kind of spells. Yeah, I think we're just going to sweep the Greenskins straight from the field. Wurzhag is not dying for some reason. Maybe Tzar Boris needs to get on target there and show him the meaning of pain, suffering, and anguish. But yeah, Greenskins weren't really going to be dangerous alone, which is why I decided to pick them off isolated. It just would have been a problem if they had a bunch of zombies and skeletons as their fodder and meat shields up front. Because they did have a lot of AP in this army, and of course, also had the Foots of Gork, which I did not want to get anywhere near my infantry, because those hurt. Wurzhag's casting is really quite powerful. He's a potent spellcaster, even for the AI. He'll overcast magic missiles at your low armor casters, and he will, of course, Foot of Gork your cav. Alright, so Wurzhag is done and dusted. Good. And let's reframe how we want to approach this. So, vampire counts are on the high ground. We're 4 minutes in. Obviously, Balance Board's going to swing in our favor after taking off a full army and taking very little losses. And the really great thing about Bear Cavalry, despite, well, besides them just being amazing in terms of their actual combat prowess and that their auto-resolve is great, which is kind of interesting because usually Cav doesn't perform that amazing in auto-resolve, but Bear Cav do. The maybe even bigger deal is that, say they lose half HP, like you can see one of my Bear Cav units with 15 models, but almost down to half HP. Well, if they don't lose any more models, they'll actually heal up like to 90-95% right after the battle. They won't even need to wait for casualty replenishment to kick in for the next turn. It'll just kick in because whatever models you have remaining, that's how much HP you'll have. So whatever missing HP there is, that will get filled up on these lower entity count units, which is really nice. They are getting super blobby, so I think now's the time to attack. AI sometimes crosses over when you use a lot of highly mobile forces, and that's what we're doing here, so not purposely trying to cheese it, but I think a Vortex is just what the Doctor ordered. Let's bring up Vladimir and bring up the Frost Mage. Melkos, for some reason, I've been noticing in my War with the Vampire accounts, it's a lot of damage to infantry, like more than I remember. Kind of weird. Like upwards of 1,500 sometimes, which, oh yeah, it's just... I'm just send Boris in, right? Like, he's got regen. Could probably cast a Shard Blade here. Thinking about it. And a Blizzard on top of that. That should be some melty fodder. Send the carrion back to their graves. Alright. Another Blizzard, maybe? I don't know that there's a lot of infantry left there anymore. Most of it melted after the first one. But let's deal with the direwolves on the flank. Only Boris in for now, because he's really not taking a whole lot of damage. He's got a ward save, he's got regen, got high melee defense. Vlad does have great stats right now, though, so Vlad could wear him down after a while. All right, Hex Race and Direwolves and Fat Bat are coming up the center to deal with my Tsar Guard. Gonna stop them from countercharging. I don't want to countercharge. I want to take the brunt of it with the shields planted. Charge defense against all, what have you. And the Bardiche can follow up their charges momentarily after the Bear Cav get in there. Gonna pop a Swiftwing here as soon as I can break out of this stalemate. Kind of locked down with some Crypt Horrors at the moment. Pull back on my left flank with the Bear Cav. Don't want to get bogged down. Even though they are great in sustained melee, they're better if they get some countercharge going. Definitely want to kill that White King if possible, and the Vargulf. And let's get these Bear Cav all the way around behind. And then a Hammer and Anvil should be able to finish off those Crypt Horrors. Boris is starting to drop low here, so I'm going to drop a Vortex on the main battle line. And I need to do something for Boris, which is come to his rescue. Pop some melee defense, keep him survivable. He is being worn down by Vlad, kind of what I was afraid of. I did leave him in there too long, but he'll be fine. Bears are all the way behind now, and we have a pocket of monsters and infantry isolated. Pushing through. Maybe taking a little bit more damage than I would have liked. And of course, don't have any healing in this army, which is where Patriarchs would really come into play. Salyak's Lullaby is incredible, and of course, Tor's Battle Hymn for the plus 40 melee attack would also be... It'd make it a lot easier than this strat with Swiftwing, but I must say, that is visually stunning and pretty damn cool. Yeah, I've never really done that before with any Cav units. Like, having 8 or so Bear Cav all get imbued with Swiftwing, and that big speed boost and charge bonus value, it's pretty fun, and it looks awesome. So yeah, if you want to make the bear stack better, then probably 4 or 5 Patriarchs on bears themselves, coupled with Tor's Battle Hymn, coupled with Salyak's Lullaby, would probably be better. But I am liking the performance of the infantry. They held out quite well there. And of course, in a siege scenario, they give you some extra options for taking gatehouses and getting on top of walls and such like that. So easy game, easy life. Vlad will be back in only a handful of turns. That's what he's known for with his Von Karstein ring. But went pretty well, and of course, the War Bears, I mean, they basically didn't take damage, right? Like, they took damage in battle, but they didn't lose models, so they're basically back to fighting effectiveness immediately. And we don't even have to worry about casualty replenishment at all. So, Tzar Boris and company all did pretty well, dropped some nice blizzards, and Greenskins and Vampire counts on the back foot, while we got 69 casualties. Nice. Nothing from an economics perspective that's important here, so we'll just occupy Waldenhof. And now we will probably turn our attention to Karak Kadrin and put more pressure on the Bone Rattlers tribe. There's got another stack just to the north here. It'll be coming in momentarily. Fortunately, did not kill Wurzag in the last battle, and he's been able to get reinforced by a lot of Greenskins. Skarsnik, I guess, also confederated by Azhag and the Bone Rattlers. And Ragnaroks, Giants, Black Orcs, Big Guns. This is going to be a more dangerous battle than the last one, I think. This should be interesting. It's a big-ass wall. And yet again, I think we are going to see the benefits of having a highly mobile core with the Sons of Ursun, because the reinforcement army is going to appear in about 90 seconds. I believe that gives us enough time to close the gap and munch on some mushroom booty. It's a Gaze of Mork from Wurzag. Going after either Vladimir. Yeah, going after Vladimir, I guess. So we're going to move him behind the cliff for now. Hopefully he'll be able to cast from the high ground. Behind cover, that would be pretty nice. Yeah, not long now. Not long until those Black Orcs and Arachnaroks start coming out, and they'll get on top of me right away. So I don't want to be too locked in here. I don't want to like overcommit, but I do want these Goblin Rock Clobbers and stuff done and dusted. So Swift Wing, not gonna hit too many of our Bear Cav this time, but should give them a nice speed boost to close in and get a charge off on the War Boars. Wurzag still popping off the magic missiles. He's annoying as hell. Did not get a good charge off on those, unfortunately. But yeah, I want to get rid of the artillery. I want to get rid of the chariots. Photogorks are going to do more damage to yourself than to me. LOL. Bro, how are you casting magic missiles surrounded by Warboard? Like, what? Like, I don't even understand how he has the elevation to fire his magic missiles above bears. Like, bears are big, and they're furry. And here comes the Greenskins. Holy crap. All right, we're gonna need to just full feet retreat. Drop a big vortex, slow them down, and then just pull everything out. Pull everybody back. Pull them back. That's gonna be a sick vortex. Man, Vlad is getting his ass beat by those magic missiles. AI is just mean about that stuff sometimes. Yeah, it took a few more casualties and HP damage on our bears than I would like. But I would say that attack was definitely worth it. Killed off 2 artillery pieces that would have been beating into my bears the whole time. I almost killed Wurzag, wasn't able to, unfortunately, which may come back to bite me if he continues to spam magic missiles at my casters. So if I see another one of those, I'm gonna have to maybe hide Vlad, because he is dropping kind of low. He does not have the benefit of the heavily armored War Bear. The extra HP from that. Now, interesting thing from the Bone Rattle is they're getting pretty spread out. Tons of trolls in this army. If I remember correctly, one of the armies had 7 or 8 of them. Pop all the stuff on Boris. And we're gonna try to cycle the damage units in and out of combat so that they don't take too many more mono losses. Like they, with Pen. Over on the left of my army screen. Kind of beat up, so I don't want them to just like stick in melee. They do have the Tormentor Sword still. It's kind of annoying. AI's actually using that really well every time I go in and charge. We almost saw sick nasty alley-oops with the Foot of Gorks. Last battle, this time didn't quite get the counter charge, but they seem to kind of know how to use it. And I don't want to overcommit against the big bosses either, because they're kind of low profile. They won't die that fast. So, slowly going to retreat. Gonna try to draw the Greenskins in, get them out of position. Almost, Genghis Khan Mongol style tactics here. Retreat with the cav, retreat with the cav, retreat with the cav, and then when they're not in a good position, when they're worn down and tired, that is when you strike. The feints, the retreats, and then the surrounds. Surround might be hard though. The Greenskin army is really big right now. Got a lot of scary single entities in there too. 2 or 3 Arachnaroks and a giant or 2. I got a lot of units in that Swift Wing. Try to utilize that speed boost and charge bonus. Start getting rid of some of these trolls. Stone trolls are the biggest problem. They've got the best stats. They hit the hardest. River trolls are not quite as big an issue. They die a lot easier, despite their debuffs. Don't want to get too blobby, though. Sometimes when you've got a lot of healing, that's a good thing. In this case, not really. Because I don't have a lot of AoE buffs either. I just have like the melee defense increase from Boris, which is just not that big a deal. So instead, gonna try and get like 2 or 3 bears engaging each troll, and that should melt them very quickly. You can see how tanky these guys are, man. They're taking on some pretty scary engagements head on and making good accounts of themselves. Definitely Blizzard time. Should catch a lot of the infantry. Wasn't a great cast. Some of my AP infantry on the Black Orcs. It's fine for the Bear Cow to engage the Black Orcs too, but don't really want to be fighting them head on. Hammer and Anvil would be a bigger deal here. Make sure we run down some of these trolls. They're ugly. They smell bad. I want them eradicated. Can't overcast a Blizzard, but that'll still be nice value. Infantry holding on great, man. That Berserk, the Enrage, is really helping them. They build up to 25% physical resistance or something. And that's on top of their already very high melee defense. So even the Bardiche Axemen, given as good as they're getting here or better, piling a little bit too heavy. A little Hailstorm in there too. Alright, isolated Ragnarok, that's what I like to see. Now there is a firing line in the back. A Biting Wind would be decent here. I don't know that I have the, yeah, I don't have Winds of Magic to do it right now. But we've actually cleared out all the infantry and monsters infantry over on that side. So those Bear Cav are free, and they're a lot healthier than my other Bear Cav, so might be their job to shut down the back line, kill Wurzag, Skarsnik, and all these magic missile wiener butts. Still got to deal with more trolls coming back. Swiftwing will come in a little bit late, but Speed Boost should still help to run them down. Yeah, Bear Cat's doing amazing on my right flank. Yeah, go after Wurzag. Infantry push through. We'll ignore those trolls and break down the back line of the Greenskins now. Big time Shatter City there. One army is gone. Boris will lead his Sons of Ursun into the Ragnarok. We'll leave one Bear Cav behind. Deal with the Giant. Vlad is still getting pounded by magic missiles. It's very annoying. Yeah, we need to do this now. Madcap Mushrooms going off, rampaging some of my stuff, but even with the Tormentor Sword, even with the Madcap, I think I had too much mobility for them to defend their archers. Keep our low Bear Cav and our low Vladimir Stormbringer out of the fight and shut this whole thing down. It should be army losses momentarily once we start getting a couple blows in on the Lord. See the wavering. You want to leave. The Guardian Call. Get some extra bonus for Sergeant AP on the Spider. And that was barely an inconvenience. It was a grisly affair. Gorgeous. So, downside to Greenskins having low leadership is that they can often run from the field before I can kill them all with my bears. But auto-resolve, of course, loves my army, so don't need to fight that secondary one. And we will reclaim Karak Kadrin.
The lost Tzar returns.
From an economics perspective, things are going very well, as you can tell. Making 14,000, have 45,000 in the bank, and usually when I start getting a ton per turn, I like to let that sit for at least a few turns before recruiting another army, just because it basically lets me save some money for a rainy day. If I'm to spend all my money every single turn, then if things go south, you don't have anything in the bank. Do have this Kossar stack moving into Waldenhof. And am using the multiple skill points per level mod, which I personally like. I think that it can just kind of get underwhelming after a while, going like, oh yeah, +2 melee attack.
Chaos.
And then not have another level for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, what have you. It just kind of gets old. So I do like maxing out my lords. A level 30 lord should be maxed out, especially if you're a caster. Someone like Manfred. But obviously there's some give and take with mods like that one. We do have Tzarina Katarin over in Silver Pinnacle in Nephi's home turf. And she is at war with the vampires of Neferata's Brood, the Lamian Sisterhood.
Never.
So I'm going to see if I can bait them into an attack here. Obviously, don't want to be taking a bunch of attrition for no reason. So I think Tzarina can go into encamp stance. And
I keep Kislev secure.
maybe the Vampire Counts will take the bait and come fight. I doubt it. They don't really have a powerful army there. Terrorgeist, Crypt Horror, and Vargulf, but there's not a whole lot going on. Obviously, Ice Guard stack for Tzarina Katarin is usually the play. Can get them down to... Yeah, I've got Renowned and Feared, so... I mean, you could probably get it lower with multiple Frost Maiden stacks in terms of upkeep reductions, but they're at 30 upkeep right now. It doesn't really need to go a whole lot lower, right? Couple of the mods I'm using are better skills and a better tech tree for Kislev, which does mean that some of their things are more powerful, some of their synergies become more powerful. I really like the tech tree from this mod. It is extremely good, though. A lot of the vanilla tech trees are just really underwhelming and just not that fun to use after you've played like 5 or 6 campaigns or whatever. So sometimes I do like to run mods like this that, I mean, it does make the campaign easier, right? Like when you have an incredible tech tree, and I'll show that off in a little bit here. When you have an insane tech tree or insane skills, like obviously they can snowball over the course of a campaign and make things easier. But I personally would rather a tech tree be extremely impactful than just be kind of meh and underwhelming. So I don't think Kislev's tech tree is bad, obviously for characters like Boris who don't have access to it for a while because they don't have Prague, they don't have the city Kislev, they don't have Erengrad. They don't really get to benefit from any of that. But even for the characters like Sultan and Kadrin, it really doesn't get super exciting in terms of tech until later in the campaign. So I will show that in a second here. Hell Pit's looking good. Let's upgrade that. Obviously holding the northern pass because Archaon and the other forces of chaos are coming soon. Do you want to steal some tech from Azazel? This has been her job all along. Getting me faster research. Yeah, we're at 257% right now, so that's real good. Yeah, so you can see, I don't have a direct comparison to what the tech tree would have looked like before, but I mean, you can tell that the techs are definitely better than they are in vanilla. And there's a lot more stacking potential here too. There's multiple Zargard upkeep reductions, multiple Ice Guard missile damage increases. Streltsy buff right here is definitely better than it is vanilla. My economy would be flourishing regardless at this point in the campaign at turn 80 if we were playing a vanilla campaign, but it definitely would not be as powerful as it is right now with making 15,000 a turn and already having some quite powerful armies in my employ. Bear baiting, I don't know if that tech changed at all, but obviously it's a huge power spike for Boris when he's using a Sons of Ursun stack. So yeah, financially we're in really good shape, and actually our entire western border is very safe right now because we're allied with the Empire and with Bretonia, and we've basically taken care of all their armies, got rid of Festus and all that. But Tzar Boris, stacking casualty replenishment, he's in pretty good shape. We're gonna end turn and see if Archaon makes a move in the northern pass, because we do have kind of a last second army that was being employed there. That's why it was all Streltsy. Basically, Archaon and another stack were coming in, and I needed an army immediately. And Streltsy was the best unit I had available in Prague, which had been under control of Throt the Unclean for quite a while. So I basically just stack that up as fast as possible. And honestly, a full stack of Streltsy is not bad against Chaos, right? Like, they've got AP...
Motherland, our friendship
What do you want,
endures.
Lewin? No. Not right now. I did say I'm allied with Bretonnia. I guess I'm not. Lewin's been kind of weak this campaign. He hasn't done a whole lot. I am military allies with Gelt and the Dwarves and Empire.
You're overruled.
Vampire counts are not going to take the bait, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get a Katarin battle this playthrough.
The ice gold.
Ivana Humpalat will go to Valdenhof.
I am the storm. Will of the blizzard.
Oh no. She got corrupted by Slanesh. Alright, let's go kill one of these agents to make up for it. Control +3, seduce budgets. I don't really care about that at all. We just had her hanging out near Azazel for too long.
Claim them. Oh, I should have
She got seduced.
more.
Alright, so Streltsy buff has completed.
No.
Looks like some Sarl tribe coming in towards Castle Alexandranov. And I have not deployed this army yet because they've been diseased for like the last 7 turns. So Archaon's coming. And multiple stacks are coming. Vanaheimlings might also show up soon as well. So tell you what, I think we're just going to take the fight to Archaon before they can link up with another stack.
Cut them down.
I think we can take this. And this should be a good way to show off the smoke effects, which is another mod we're using, which looks amazing for units like the Streltsy. So he's got a bunch of Chaos spawn, a lot of monsters, some scary regiments of renown, scary single entities, but I think we are equipped to deal with the majority of what he has on offer. Full gunpowder army, ideally, would be working in some little Groms. Get some cannons in there, make this a truly Napoleonic-style line battle type of army. But the cool thing is that they are also can openers in melee, and they are supported by one of the best anti-chaos regiments of renown in the game, at least when it comes to infantry. That is Hearthguards. They will absolutely shred even Chosen in CQB. So, going for a checkerboard style formation, as you would expect, to utilize gunpowder. Doing a little bit of cheeky stuff with chevrons to see if I can fire, like, get more dudes on target. But this map's really not super conducive to gunpowder. It's not bad, but there are some weird line of sight divots and hills and stuff that will make it a little bit more challenging to get the angles I want and have all my units firing. So I will have to pay attention. Not worried about Spirit Leech because Valentin Merciless regens. And that is Archaon, Lord of the End Times, Everchosen, Three-Eyed King on Dorgar's Through the Apocalypse. Bunch of Chaos Spawn and a farting Nurgle Giant in his employ, and a Flying Wing on my right. So I'm actually gonna pull some Streltsy off. Make sure I've got layered fire to deal with that, because there's a scary Bloodthirster, a Manticore, and I think the Tzeentch Regiment of Renown, Doom Knights, over on that side. Open up with the first volleys. Look at that smoke effect, dude. That looks so sick. Yeah, when we get the full army firing, and then get some cannons thrown in there, that looks so good, dude. Like, this should be default. Oh, it looks amazing. And doesn't really seem to affect FPS much either. One of my favorite things from Napoleon Total War was seeing an entire line open up, and then soon the entire battle just covered in this haze, this thick black smoke from all the breach loaders. Super cool. I don't know what they're doing on that side. Like, the Manticore's only charging because he's getting shot, but it'll die momentarily. Bloodthirster and the Doom Knights are just kind of chilling. Painful little searing doom from Archie. Here they come. I actually totally forgot about my left leg. Alright. Summoners of Rage on my left side, as well as a Chaos Giants. I have the Boyar go in. Bloodthirster's not going to be long for this world. Doom Knights are already routing. Oh my god, this looks so cool. This looks so sick. Smoke and gunpowder effect should come standard. Killing bloodthirsters is so much more fun. Like this. Okay, so in the center, things are getting kind of painful. What I'm going to do is pull back whatever stealthy I can in a second here. I'm probably going to lose 1 or 2 units of those. But if I can pull them out in time, maybe... Yeah, this unit has 20 models, dropping fast. They might die. They might not be able to get out. It's really nice having that unbreakable, though. To an extent, it's not always the best thing, because routing units typically push through and escape better than ones that are manually dragged by you. But, when you're simply just trying to hold the line, Buy Our Blood is a super good passive, one of the best army abilities of the game. Yeah, I did lose one of those Streltsy, but the other 2 routed off, and they're fine. So not a big deal. Streltsy are easily replaced. And it's multiple layers of concave fire. The enfilade down the flank of these monsters and free Chaos Mod just straight up melting. Line of sight has been a bit of an issue thus far. You can see the units in the back kind of have to pull forward awkwardly close to get good shots in because of the divot in the hill. But I don't know if there's a better spot on the map for me to fight. Like, that's kind of characteristic of every single area. Topography here, it happens, no biggie. We're still getting lots of shots in. A few of our units do have blocked line of sight right now. Monsters are mostly dead. And, oh, this is going to be glorious. That sounds so good. That looks so good. So, move a few more Streltsy out to the wings, ensure we've got those good lines of sight. And that's pretty much just going to be Archaon left now, right? Ooh. Searing Doom's hurt. Now, my Boyar on his bear cannot take on Archaon 1v1, but he can duel him for a bit anyway. He won't win. We're gonna hope that he doesn't activate the Slayer of Kings and just immediately one-shot my lord. Meanwhile, we'll mow down some Chaos Hordes to get some point-blank close-ups of it, because it's just, oh, so satisfying. That's fantastic. Faith, Steel, and Gunpowder. Belief in the God Bear Ursun. How we do it in Kislev, baby. Archaon is an ascended demon prince. He is disintegrating, crumbling, albeit very slowly. Dodge Searing Doom. Lord's getting a little bit low. So let's shoot him to death. And that is going to be the Motherland campaign. If you guys want to see more, do let me know in the comment section below. But I will leave a list of all the mods I am using. And I am having a blast with it, dude. It's been a really enjoyable campaign thus far. And I haven't even confederated Kislev yet. I haven't beaten him in the followers race yet. I'm up about 100 followers right now. It'll be easy to close that out, but it'll still take a bit. Maybe 20, 25 turns, and I'll have it completed. I haven't invested a ton yet into the churches and the followers race, but once I get Erengrad... Oh no, I'm so sorry, friend. Oh no, what have I done? Once I've got Irongrad, like, my economy's just gonna be disgusting.
Boyar of Kislev.